Okay, so I'm going to be making some improvements and also going to be expanding a little bit, I think. I actually quite enjoy this, weirdly, like talking and getting things out. So I'm going to pursue this vein of creativity. So I actually realised that my video, like audio quality, is pretty shit. So I'm going to be getting some like mics. I actually already got some, but me just rushing and not putting any thought into it, I got some mics that were like USB-C, sorry, Lightning, not USB-C, so incompatible with the phone that I'm using right now. I'm pretty conscious of like not being the all the gear, no idea person, and you know, taking it steady, because it's just a passion, it's just a creative outlet right now. And like, one thing that I like to do is get ahead of myself and then end up getting sidetracked and not pursuing it anymore, even after I spent loads of money on it. But so I think the path forward, I think I'm going to follow passionate subjects of mine. So on this channel I'm going to have Speak James, which are just like my solo kind of rants, and then I'm going to have the podcast as well, which I'm trying to debate the name, whether I keep it in brand with like Speak James podcast and call this like Speak James solo or something like that, to differentiate a little bit, more for myself. Like so it was a really nice night tonight. All the stars are out. Venus is over there, it's covered by the clouds, but yeah, so I'm going to pursue the podcast, the solo, and I'm going to do like UFO, like a UFO playlist. I might call that something else, something a bit wilder, a bit fun, because I'm like passionate about UFOs, and there's a reason for that. Having, you know, I don't like really talking about it just purely for the fact that it makes you seem like crazy, but I do like talking about it because I find it really interesting, if that makes sense. There's like a social stigma because I've actually seen UFOs, and on multiple occasions, and I think there is something around Leeds. Well, we live next to, there's a thing called Mentwith Hill, which is an American-owned kind of intelligence base, and I don't think there's any coincidence that, you know, there's weird shit that happens in our skies. And when I mean weird, like obviously weird, not like, oh, it could have been a drone, it could have been a helicopter. It's like, no. Whatever the fuck you think, like if you think I'm chatting gas, then fair enough, I'm not gonna get defensive or anything like that. That's fine. Like, a lot of people are quick to kind of cast it off and say that you're just seeing things or whatever, but I've seen things on multiple occasions. First time I saw something was the strangest of the lot, and I saw that with my dad as well, coming home from a swimming training session. I was about 10 or something like that, 10, 11. It was probably 2006 or 2008. I might have been 12, but it was around that ballpark, and we both saw it. And I tried getting a fucking photo of it, because if you imagine the phones in 2008, or 2006, and just trying to imagine what the cameras were like back then on a mobile phone. Everyone was bragging about their 1 megapixel fucking HD camera, and it had no stabilization control, you know, so if you took a photo and you moved your hand, the photo would just be like streaks of light, and it, you know, it's a joke. If you're not older than like 20, then you would like, if you didn't experience like the noughties, for example, and you didn't see the phones and how bad they were back then, you wouldn't really understand, because the phones these days are so much better. Like, even still, it would be hard to actually capture something like that on camera, because of, first of all, you've got the mesmerization aspect, whereby you don't know how long this thing's going to be there for. So you've got this like innate fear that if you take your eyes off it for 2 seconds, it's going to fly away and you're going to miss this like thing. It's like, I don't know, it's like anything rare. If you see it going past, you don't want to, because it's so rare, you don't want to like not look at it for as long as you can. And then when you get your phone out, this thing was pretty fast, so trying to capture it, pretty difficult to do. But I'm going to go over like my actual experiences of what I've seen on the UFO side of things. And you know, if anyone's interested in UFOs or wants to talk about it, you know, I'd love to chat to literally anyone right now, because I just find it so interesting. And it's more just for entertainment for probably me and whoever wants to talk, rather than it being viewed by people. Just interesting stuff. So I'm going to do the UFO, the podcast, and then carry on with this. But when it comes to heat shock, currently I'm trying to figure out the best way forward with that, because, you know, a few months ago I had plenty of dollar, still do, but nowhere near as much, to the point where, like, essentially I need to produce this product that I'm going to do. I'm going to call it Aqua or Agua or something like that, by Heat Shock, which is a sauna specific hydration supplement. I've got a few inspirations behind it, like people who have inspired me, but I don't want to be that person. I'm not going to rip off anyone's product, because you want to go into your own niche and create something that you're truly passionate about. But someone who's inspired me is Matt Kelly at you know, Space Goods. You see his product and you're like, that is so cool. Like, I watch his podcast and I watch his vlogs now and again, and like I can see he goes through the up and downs and stuff, but I'm just like, you know, he's done his neon lights before, and he's done his Space Goods now, and you can tell it's a stressful thing. It's a stressful life that he's living, and he's in the trenches a lot, but in terms of like fulfillment compared to a job, and like the fact that he's got an outlet to pop his creativity into, like, that is a unique brand, and like I'm inspired by it, but don't want to be, you know, just a copycat of that brand, if that makes sense. Like, there is some people who have just blatantly ripped off his brand and doing mushroom coffee kind of supplement drinks as well, but I'm not doing anything to do with mushroom or anything like that. It's a different space completely. It's in sauna hydration supplement, but he definitely inspired me to get into more D2C, and especially when it comes to like consumable D2C. because it actually is something that I'm passionate about too. So that's why it really caught on to me. Just watching him, like, oh shit, I like doing this, and he's actually doing it. What the fuck has he done? How's he done it? Okay, let me study this and try and see what like principles he's used. And there's a lot of learning when you listen to someone who's done it, and like see who they're teaming up with, and like think weird little things like what type of lingo do they use, like what does that mean, what does this mean? Okay, that's what that is. I understand that. I already knew, because I'm like a bit of a self-taught marketer, whereby I've had one mentor who's shit hot, to be fair, but it wasn't in a corporate environment whereby you need to know all these certain terms and stuff. It's just like learning by doing. So I know all the concepts that they used and are using, but when they refer to them with certain names and certain metrics that they measure, it's all interesting stuff to get the name out there. But essentially, as of right now, I needed 15 grand to manufacture the product, with being in touch with the manufacturer and got a quote from them and stuff. And I was essentially too much of a pussy to go into my investments, because I was too greedy in the marketplace. And I thought, okay, if I wait a certain amount of time, then I will have more money to be able to do this and this, because I also wanted to go into, well, I still am going to go into property as well. So I've got multiple veins of income. And essentially the greedy plan of mine backfired, and it went the other way. So now I've still got the money, but it's even more painful to do so now. But I suppose that's God saying, you got too greedy, son, you should have done it. Like, you had it, like, because everything is given and taken away through God. So I had it and I wasted it, and now he took it away from me. So I'm essentially starting from scratch. But what it's forced me to do is go a different route. So now I'm gonna have to raise that money a different way, which is fine, and it actually might help me hone the skills and develop the brand. It's like get some momentum with that brand before the release of the main product. So I might go through like a drop shipping route first under the same brand, and it's called Heatshock. URL is heatshock.shop, and like I might have to expand it to a larger, rather than it being focused solely on the sauna niche. Like here's a task for you: go find a drop shipping product that's good, that fits the sauna niche. Bloody hell, all you get is fucking sauna hats that are like cotton sauna hats that are like, oh, that's cool, but each one costs £5 to buy, and you're selling it for £7. It's like you're gonna have to shift. You're gonna have to shift what, 15,000 fucking sauna hats? Yeah, good luck with that one. So I'm gonna expand out. I'm actually brainstorming while on this recording, so I'm thinking, massage products are pretty hot in a way right now, and also things like prebiotics and probiotics and things like that. So I need to figure out exactly which products I'm going to try. I'm just going to try and I'm not going to get emotionally invested into any one singular product. It's going to be, rather than sniping, I'm going to machine gun fire from the hip, just get loads on there and do loads of ads, TikTok, boost on Meta, Meta ads. Just get one that is profitable and then scale it up and reinvest into ads, because I've done loads of, when I say loads, I mean probably about seven different products so far, and I'm yet to find one where I can get a profitable return on the amount of ad spend that I spend. So like, if I from the best products I've had so far, this is how amateur of a level I am right now, which I'm not ashamed of, because you got to start from somewhere, and I've been doing this for probably about a year, marketing for probably 5, but learning to find the right product and get it right is hard to do. And I've currently, like, let's say if I spend £20 on ad spend, the best I've had a return on is £17 back. So I'm still, and that would be £17 after fulfilling. So it would be £3 loss. So the best I've had is still a loss. So I was still losing money, although I was shifting product, and it fucking sucks. But you know, if you read the book by Napoleon Hill, Think and Grow Rich, one of the essential principle out of that book is a stubborn, unforgiving, like, unwillingness to give up. Like, if you just stand there and audaciously stand there and just keep going, and you have faith, and you keep learning, and you just unwavering, and you're just standing there and you just keep going, eventually you will get that payment, you will get that return. And then I know in myself, like, a little bit in an egotistical way, I kind of do believe that once I get the hang of something, I can be really good at it, because I've just had experience after experience of that happening in life. Sounds very fucking cocky, but it is true. And I suppose a bit of self-belief, like a bit of narcissism, like a healthy level of narcissism is okay. It's just when that gets unchecked, it ruins you. So you got to learn to stay humble whilst having a little bit of that self-belief. So that's a route right now. It's just actually doing it. So yeah, that's pretty much where I'm at this moment in time. But you know, there's also trying to get back into the health of things, like trying to get a bit more healthy again. Like, I've been on a good long walk today with Bo and Yaz, and one now as well. But a good friend of mine, Addy, was saying to me, you know, to get into shape, it's not like 40% gym, 60% food, or 30% food and 70% gym. It's 100% gym and 100% food. Like, they both matter. They're both the most important things. Like, if you're going to the gym and burning loads of calories, but if you're still eating more calories than you're burning, you're not going to lose weight. And if you're not eating the right thing, combined with the right training, you're not going to develop muscle, for example, or develop the adaptations that you're wanting. So trying to just be more mindful of what I'm eating, because one thing that happens is, like, you can get into your life where you're just drifting through life and you're not, let's say, conscious of all the decisions that you make. And the less conscious you are of those decisions, if they're not a good habit that you have chosen to implement and force yourself to get into, they can lead you to destinations where you don't want to go. So like, everyone goes through the period where they're not thinking quite straight and they just let their habits overtake them. So that's why habits are really important. You need to analyze your habits, see where they can be improved. Like, if you've got a habit of, I don't know, video gaming too much, or like if you got stressed or if you get tired, you turn and get a bit lazy, or you turn to food, or you turn to gambling, or you turn to whatever your vice is, drinks, then you need to think, how am I going to break this habit? And read the book Atomic Habits by, I think it's James Clear. Highly recommended. But I think that's it from me today of where I'm at. I'll keep you all updated. Well, when I say you all, I mean I'll keep myself and Beau updated on where we're at.